There are so many things that make for a qualified and capable therapist. There aren't going to be certifications and licensure for every single modality that we practice, but we want to ensure that people are well trained. They can demonstrate how they are well trained and where they received their training, and that they are practicing as collaboratively as possible, and that we aren't putting so many providers in play that we are overwhelming an individual or a family system and undoing the ultimate goal, which is to be change agents and curators of a path towards healing. So I think my advice for therapists that want to enhance and become more skilled and grounded in a particular modality is to get really strong guidance about what that can look like at the end of that process. What I mean by this is we over-focus on competence, and competence is not a process, it's an outcome. I am able to state clearly to an individual or to the division that I have these trainings and that I am able to maneuver through the material with an understanding of how to use the techniques, how to provide ongoing assessments of progress, how to remain thoughtful to the time-sensitive nature of behavioralism, and what the outcomes could be using this particular modality. So it is important that we hold ourselves accountable to the fact that one of our key responsibilities as social workers is to build our knowledge and to ensure that we are practicing within a scope of practice that is rooted in clear training and an understanding of how to utilize these approaches. That's a responsibility that we have. It's an ethical responsibility, but it's also really important for us to perhaps start small and build out rather than trying to do all of the things. It is crucial that we slow down, that we ask for appropriate training, that we seek appropriate continuing education hours, that the hours that are required to maintain provisional or full licensure are not treated as throwaways or numbers that we have to gather so that we can appease the powers that be, that we really embrace this as an ongoing professional responsibility to our own development, our capacity to be guides in the social change process so that we don't become agents of social control. We also need to think about introducing and embracing culturally responsive and culturally sustaining practices. So what we can also do is start to embrace the opportunity that some of these modalities and some of these trainings can be put into place in social work, in schools of social work and in social work educational settings. And that social work schools can have a responsibility to providing ongoing CEUs at discounted rates or even for free that help community partners maintain this knowledge base so that we are growing this knowledge together. And to be very willing to tell the treatment care team that, again, might involve attorneys, that might involve volunteers, that might involve psychiatrists, clinical psychologists, people that are not necessarily in the same professional domain that we are, to really be a voice at the table to question and ensure that we are curating a plan of action that makes sense, that is feasible, that is realistic, and that we can identify providers that are actually trained and not self-proclaimed experts.